Thanks for tuning in to the Thumb Strong podcast. If you could, please like and subscribe to help us reach more people and help them get started in their fitness journey. Thanks and enjoy the episode. Welcome back to another episode of the Thumb Strong podcast. Today we've got a good one. We're going to talk about leading by example or being a role model. I like to start by reading this quote by Aristotle, which is really cool. So, you are not what you repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit. You are what you repeatedly do. Sorry. You are what you repeatedly do. So, excellence is not an act, but a habit. So, what you repeatedly do every day, you become, essentially. I wanted to talk about this and break down, like, what kind of traits or habits or actions does a leader take, especially for those that maybe are a manager, a parent, a coach, a boss, business owner, whatever, because so many people are looking up to you or maybe adopting similar habits, especially with like kids looking up to coaches and parents. So I thought this would be important when it comes to health and fitness. Our health and fitness habits really do affect the lives of people around us, which we're going to get into kind of like the science of it to hopefully help inspire people or shift our train of thought around the actions that we take every day and the habits that we have, and basically try to think about leading by example for those around us to try to help everybody become better, right? Mm-hmm. So that's obviously a big thing that we believe in is, we want to try to help people live healthier and happier lives. So it wouldn't make sense if we didn't do that, right? So we have to kind of lead by example first, and help people adopt those. So let's get into the first part of it, Bethany. Yeah. What do we got?
No, that's fine. I can do it.
Okay.
So wanted to define what does it mean to lead by example, but I think it'd be cool if we each gave what it means to us to lead by example and how we do. So like for me personally, for what it means to lead by example, it just comes down to what you do on a daily basis and envisioning like that best version of yourself and trying to strive to be that every day, and then through that other people will notice what you do. People immediately around you will then pick up different things, or they'll become inspired by what you're doing. Whether that is like making healthier recipes, that's been lately a big thing for me. Just having a little bit more fun with recipes and healthy cooking and everything like that. And then doing some different challenges like the trail race, like even though it's it's super hard and definitely something that's grueling and not the most fun sometimes, but doing it anyway, doing hard things, because then you feel very accomplished after you finish it. So different things. How about you, DeLauren? What's
for me, like I've never been a big like a verbal vocal leader. Like it kind of reminds me of football in high school. Like we had these guys that are like super hyped up, like screaming and like getting everybody fired up, you know what I mean? And that was never really me. But I also think that there's different types of leaders, right? Like the vocal, outspoken, and then the more quiet, like put your head down and like go do the work, right? And people see that. And there's a place for both of them. Absolutely. Like not one is not necessarily better than the other. But I was more of the kind of not quiet, but like I was never super loud and extroverted. I tried to just lead more by example and leading from the front in most situations. Like, never telling somebody to do something that you wouldn't do is a big one. And being a leader also means like being open-minded, and like we have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, right? Like that's what I've always been told. So like being able to listen and receive feedback and like have the best interest of whatever it is, like your team, your community, your business, your coworkers, in the front, right? Like that should be your priority. and that's extremely important as a leader to like keep that in your head.
I think I'll challenge you on that a little bit because you said I don't think one's better than the other, but I think the person that takes action and doesn't necessarily just spit out all this motivational stuff
Uh-huh.
is more of a leader, in my opinion, because you were totally right with, we have 2 ears, one mouth. So most good leaders are really good listeners and they're the last to speak. So they take it all in, all the information, and then they're the last to speak. Or for you, it's like I'm going to go out on the field and show them what I'm capable of, which that in turn is going to motivate and fire up the rest of the people to follow me. It's not I'm going to sit here and pump you up, right?
Yeah, that's
So-
a good point. Yeah.
I think the action, that's exactly what it says with that opening quote. It's like the actions speak a whole lot louder than the words.
Yeah.
Right? And so some other things that I would like, sharing on this leadership, because in my head, like I've always wanted to, the way I would define it or the way I've always looked at it is kind of the same thing as like, I want to go out there and show people what you're capable of by proving, hey, I can do this. I've exceeded so many expectations for my own self, and I've proved myself wrong so many times that, like a lot of the stuff that we do, we just want to prove to people what's possible, and that is our version of leading by example. So, when we were like competing in CrossFit, there were so many times where it's like, there's no way I'm going to be able to walk on my hands. There's no way I'm going to be able to do a double under. Like, there's no way we're going to be able to keep up with these people or whatever it is. But then through actions, all of a sudden you can achieve that, and then you get to that point. It's like, oh my God, like, so you literally just repeatedly prove yourself what you're capable of, and then the mission from there was like, okay, if I could do this, like more people could do it. So it's like, let's just keep pushing forward and inspire other people and kind of lead by example that way by doing the work, taking the actions. So it says here, like, leading by example means embodying the standards and habits you expect from others. So it's not about commanding, it's about modeling, right? Simon Sinek, if you don't know who Simon Sinek is, he is absolutely amazing. He's written a lot of books and he's done a lot of different speeches and talks and stuff on finding your why and on leadership and things like that. But he says people don't buy into what you say, they buy into what you do. So your actions show your why.
Yeah.
Right? If you want your family, your friends, or a team to value their health, you can't just talk about eating better or exercising, you have to live it every day. Not many people would probably take our advice on health and fitness if we were all out of shape and lazy, right?
Yeah.
If we didn't work out ourselves. One of my clients likes to say, hey, you don't get a haircut from somebody with bad hair.
Yeah. I heard that today.
So, you want to embody and live whatever you're trying to portray or get other people to do.
Yeah.
And this applies everywhere, obviously, with parenting, leading a staff, running a business, or even how you interact with people socially. People replicate what they see consistently, right? So that is kind of our description or idea of what it means to lead by example. So now we can kind of get into, if you want, like the science behind role modeling, and we can kind of relate it to health. Obviously, it relates to everything, but we want to make it health and fitness focused for today.
So I just want to put in there too, like another, you were talking about, what's his name, Simon Sinek. Another good leadership instructor is Jocko Willing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He does a lot of seminars and like businesses will actually hire him to coach them on how to lead, like build structure within their business. And his big thing is taking ownership.
Yep.
I think he has a whole book about it.
Yep.
Extreme ownership.
I can see. Yep.
So we're
I
talking.
haven't.
Yeah. Oh, do
I don't know
you?
if I've read it, but I haven't.
Yeah. So we're talking about these qualities of a leader, right? Like taking action. Actions speak louder than words.
Yeah.
Like taking ownership, I think, is
Yeah.
another big one. Of more so like the faults of your business rather than the good things.
I was just thinking about that because, like, let's just say something didn't get done, or something's not getting done to the standard or whatever that I have. Maybe it's for you guys or a staff member. It's pretty easy just to say, hey, why, you guys didn't do that or whatever. But it's taken a long time, and through practice and learning and trying to become a better leader, it's like, okay, that's on me because I clearly didn't set the expectation or explain it well enough or communicate it well enough, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like you got to take, like, everything that happens is usually you have to kind of take ownership of whatever happens in your
Yeah.
life. It's to your fault to an extent,
Like, hey,
almost all the time.
Yeah,
right?
like it's my fault I didn't express like how
Yeah.
important this is. That we make
Exactly.
sure we get this done
Yeah.
on time.
Yeah.
Like if you missed a deadline or something, and then when you take ownership of that too, it becomes more controllable. Like you can,
And the cool thing, when you take ownership, it's like, okay, what do I need to do next time to make sure that it's them again? So it's almost like you turn it into a lesson learned,
absolutely.
rather than like, hey, we failed this,
yeah,
or whatever.
And your employees or your kids or whoever, your players, if you're a coach, are going to respond so much better to you taking ownership over the problem, like than you going up and yelling at them or criticizing them.
Yeah.
Like that kind of comes down to like the constructive criticism, but like also showing how important it is to you by taking ownership for it. That kind of rubs off onto them, and they can see that. And it's like, oh man, this means a lot to them, and then they feel that same way.
Yes. All right. On to the science of role modeling, especially when it comes to health and fitness. One little quick science fact is that there are what's called mirror neurons in your brain, and it fires both while you're doing an action, but then also when we observe someone doing it. So if we're seeing somebody consistently live out these healthy habits, it doesn't just inspire you, it's like it just priming your brain to actually do those behaviors. So a big influence is parents on their kids, which, I mean, I'm going to say, like, yes, genetics maybe have a part of it, but a lot of it is the nurture part. It's a lot of what you model and what you show your kids growing up of like, hey, this is how we live our lives. And that can either be good or bad. And so in Harvard, about 2018, researchers followed 24,000 children over 5 years. And based on the mothers, if they followed these 5 healthy habits, eating a healthy diet, exercising regularly, they are maintaining a healthy weight, not smoking, drinking alcohol in moderation, their children were 75% less likely to be obese compared to the children of mothers who didn't follow those habits.
It's insane.
So, a very big impact on that. And then when the mother and child follow the healthy habits together, the children were 82% less likely to develop obesity as well. So, like, how a parent acts, it's just a blueprint for a kid's long-term health outcomes.
Mm-hmm.
It's like either, you're set up for success when you're young and you have these things ingrained, and then you just carry it into your adult life, or you have bad habits set and then you have to work on breaking those habits the rest of your life. Which I know, like, for you, you've mentioned how you'd go camping and your parents would make, like, they'd have, fruits and vegetables to snack on and things like that.
Yeah.
So I know that's definitely carried over to your health
Absolutely.
and fitness. And
becomes the normal.
Yeah.
It makes me think of, too, like, you hear we are what we eat, right? Which is true. But we are also, like, who we hang around with.
Yeah.
We are what we watch. We are what we read. Like, all of these things play a factor into, like, who we are and all the consumables, right?
Mm-hmm.
And not necessarily, like, materialistic, but, like...
You are what you consume,
Yeah. So that plays a piece into... You kind of feed upon each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like, your parents, who you are, like, that feeds into, like, what you eat, what you watch, read, what you do for fun, all these different things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And at the end of the day, they either have a positive or negative impact.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
That they really...
Yeah.
It's one or the other.
100%. Next little study, there was a meta-analysis, so this took over 100 different studies. And they found that children with overweight or obese parents were about 2 times more likely to be overweight or obese themselves. So it just shows, like, you have one, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree is a famous saying, or a common saying, and just showing that the habits of the parents then carried over to the kids. And so, yeah, it's not just about genetics. It's what I like to say is genetics will load the gun, but your lifestyle will pull the trigger. And so, like, genetics kind of determine, all right, people are going to respond differently to different things, but it's still you taking the action that affects it.
Yeah.
Right. So it's still controllable.
Yeah.
There's another study from the Boston College. They looked at fathers, and fathers who improved their diet during adolescence were 90% more likely to role model healthy eating when they became parents.
That
And
makes sense.
yeah.
So they're saying when they were young.
Yep.
Yes, when they were young, they got better.
The father.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, the father figure. And then there were also these fathers that they followed were 60% more likely to monitor their children's unhealthy food choices. So essentially, the kids were more likely to meet their recommended fruit and vegetable intakes, eat healthier in general, just to show that, even from how a parent behaved when they were younger impacts
Yeah.
how they raise their kids.
So for any parents that have kids in adolescence or that are young, like the habits that you teach them right now are actually going to impact their children,
Mm-hmm. So your grandchildren.
which is pretty, incredible. I
Mhm.
mean,
Yeah.
important. I mean, that's
Okay.
why this is the topic of
Right.
discussion, right?
Yes, exactly. Let's see. So now talking more about behaviors and how they're socially contagious. There's a very famous finding from a study from 2007 that if one spouse becomes obese, the likelihood the other would also become obese increased by 37%. If a close friend became obese, your chances increased by 57%, it's honestly crazy that that's higher than the spouse
It is. Yeah.
by 20%.
Yeah.
And it also doesn't just apply to obesity or weight, it applies to exercise habits, smoking, alcohol use, and even happiness. So if you got a Debbie Downer friend, then
You got a battery drainer.
Yeah.
then you're not going to be as happy. Huh, interesting. Okay.
Makes
So,
sense.
yeah, it's not just like parents to kids, it's also families, friends, coworkers, your community,
Yeah.
just, who you spend your time with.
Mm-hmm.
Even who you watch on social media.
Yeah.
Probably. So
Yeah.
if, you consistently watch the same person and they're either a positive or a negative influence on that, then that like almost subconsciously rewires your brain, like fires different motor neurons to mirror that.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Interesting. And then as far as leadership and teams, so there is idealized influence. So leaders modeling values and behaviors is consistently one of the strongest predictors of employee motivation, performance, and commitment. So, like, imagine if you had a boss and they were telling you you have to be on time, you have to get this work done in this amount of time, you have to have everything to this standard, and all these different things, and then they never did any of it.
Mm.
Like, how much resentment would you get towards that? Quite a bit.
Quite a bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah. But you would not respect them as much, and you would not see
Right.
them as a, somebody you would want to lead you
Yeah,
and look up to.
Yeah, so it's like, there goes your motivation to work
Yeah.
for that person.
Yeah.
Your performance is going to go down because of it, and you're not going to be as committed to that job. And you're
Yeah.
more likely to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. Another is when managers were seen prioritizing their own wellness, like exercising and taking mental health breaks, eating well, employees reported higher motivation to do the same. So just kind of like a top-down effect with
Okay.
that. So you can influence your employees if you're a business owner or a manager of some sort.
Yep.
You can influence other people too.
Yeah.
Works vice versa too. If you have bad habits, they'll probably pick up on that too.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Or if the manager shows up late all the time, like why would the employees get out there on time? Kind of
Right.
like what you were just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think that's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, the leader is almost seen as the first mover. So if leaders, they act with, integrity, they are honest, and they, have cooperation and good communication skills, and they do that first, it significantly reduces any, dishonesty or um, poor cooperation, anything like that, and it just improves the group's overall cooperation and communication.
Yeah.
So that's where taking ownership,
Mm-hmm.
like we were talking about with Jocko Willing, that's probably why he made such a big emphasis on, first taking ownership of what you could have done better and like what you should have done, and then that could trickle down into the employees being like, oh, I should take ownership
Yeah.
over what I played into that.
I think that makes like the confrontation between you and an employee or like whoever really a lot easier too, rather than like confronting them and putting the blame on them. Confront them and say, "Hey, I'm sorry. Like I didn't." That's much easier to put something on you than it is on somebody else.
Yeah, I mean that can come down to parents and kids, that can come to spouses, or any type of relationship really. Because if you come at you're always blaming the other person for something, and you're never taking responsibility for what you did in that situation, then it's just a blame party. Everybody's pointing fingers at each other.
Yeah.
And nobody gets happier. Same thing
true.
with kids. It's like, hey, you know what? I could have done this better.
Mm-hmm.
With your kid, and then your kid's gonna respect you more because it's not just you telling them what they did wrong.
Yeah. I tell you what, I've gotten in trouble a few times as a kid, and when my mom took ownership of it, it was I would have rather gotten yelled at 100 times. You know what I mean?
It hits you more because you're like,
does.
oh.
Yeah, now I feel bad. Like, oh man.
Yeah. See, it works better.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. If you still remember it, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Is that all on the?
Yeah, it's all on that.
Okay. So we can talk about how this shows up in everyday life. So for health and fitness, parents who want to show up for their workouts, eat whole foods, prioritize sleep, are teaching by action, not words. So kids will naturally view that lifestyle as normal. So like if you're consistently, prepping healthy food or making healthy meals, going for walks, getting workouts in, drinking water, like your kids are just going to see that and pick up on that. I mean, we've had tons of kids that started coming to the gym like with their parents, and they'll usually always end up like jumping in and doing some of the exercises. Like even my 3-year-old niece tries to come in and do the jumping jacks and the high knees, and she'll try to do some of the exercises with my sister-in-law. She does them really funny, but she at least tries to do it, and she's modeling Ashley, so that's really cool. So yeah, like your kids are paying attention, and I can honestly say, like I can specifically remember my dad doing certain things, and I would just copy and try to do what he was doing. And a lot of it was like woodworking and working on, doing mechanic stuff, working on dirt bikes and four-wheelers. And so, by just habit of watching him, I was able to do that kind of stuff when I was 12, 13 years old. So it doesn't matter what it is, they're going to pick up on and do it, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, right?
Yeah.
So try to make your choices more healthy and good things, right?
Right.
Parenting, so children mimic what they see, kind of like exactly what I was just saying. Telling them to go outside and play carries little weight if parents are on the couch all evening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but parents who walk, play, or prepare healthy meals together show children what healthy really looks like. So you have to do it. You can't just yell at kids and tell them what to do. You got to show them what to do. Professional life, a boss who says take care of your health but never leaves his office undermines their own message. A boss who schedules workouts or openly values balance builds a healthier, more motivated workplace culture. So if the boss is prioritizing his health, walking, working out, eating healthy, whatever it is, showing up on time, being early, whatever, that habit is going to translate to the employees. Community and coaching. So as a trainer or gym owner, how you live matters. If you prioritize your own workouts, nutrition, and self-care, your clients will feel inspired to do the same. So that's exactly what we were talking about. Like, we want to try to lead by example and live this healthy lifestyle, share our own experiences and what we do on a daily basis and stuff with our clients to help them live a healthier lifestyle as well. So, yeah. Next one, practical framework, how to lead by example. So how do you start leading by example, Bethany?
Well, the biggest thing is just being consistent and just keep doing it. Doesn't have to be perfect. Don't go for perfection. Just being consistent. People respect when you're showing up, even on the tough days. Even if it's not perfect, they respect like, oh, okay, you're consistent. And then
So that could be going for a walk, working out, eating healthy, drinking water, any kind of healthier habit, right? As long as
most
you
of the
just
time,
show up and do it consistently, right?
Yep. Making things, visible, stuff that people can easily learn from. I'd also say make things accessible. So like, obviously going for walks is something easy that anybody can do. But also, if you have a bunch of time for meal prep and you're making a super cool aesthetic, it takes, 5 hours for you to meal prep. That's not very realistic for the average person. So like as a trainer, if you're busier, then it's like, okay, finding ways to make healthy meals that are also really easy on the go and stuff that doesn't take a lot of prep. So that way it's like when parents are super busy, what do? Instead of just going through a drive-through because that's what they know as their default. They're like, oh, well, I don't have time to prepare a healthy meal, so we're just going to go through here. But if you model, okay, here's how you can just throw stuff in a slow cooker and then it's done by the end of the day by the time you get home. And it's ready. Or it's like, okay, then you can pack stuff to take with you for the car. Things like that. But yeah, not just instructing people, like showing the why and the how. And making sure that you protect your boundaries to blocking out times for health routines. Showing others that it's important and that it's worth protecting as far as, your sleep and your health and fitness, everything like that. And then, yeah, share struggles of, we always share when we don't want to work out, but you do it anyways, just because it's what you do, and it just makes you more relatable and not like, oh, you're just this special person that can do it when others can't. It's like we're really not that special. We're just got the habits going and just keep doing it.
I did want to work out yesterday, but I did it. Just had to start.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was great. Felt good after.
Mm-hmm.
Never regret it.
Nope.
The struggle's the best part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say.
Okay. Action or challenge for the listeners?
Yes.
Okay. So reflection, if my kids, coworkers, or spouse copied my habits for 30 days, what would their health look like? So your current habits. Ask yourself, like, if other people copied what I'm doing, what would their health look like after 30 days? So that'll get you thinking about your habits and your actions to make some tweaks, maybe, if necessary. So the challenge would be pick one habit to consciously model this week, whether that's eating vegetables with your kids, showing up at the gym, turning off screens before bed, drinking more water, going for a walk, whatever it is. Try to pick one thing and model it this week. Encourage listeners to share. Oh, that's just reading off of there.
Yeah.
That's funny. But I would encourage people to actually share what habit they do in the group, because that's exactly what leading by example is. Like, if you're going to try something, put it out there for other people to see. One, that's going to hold you more accountable. You're going to be more consistent with it. But then other people might be like, oh, DeLorean's getting in his steps to go for a walk. I'm going to go get in my steps, go for a walk. Because we're starting our step challenge next week.
Yeah.
To hold each other accountable. And then one of us might influence the other, right? Especially when we don't want to do it.
Yes.
It's a lot easier. So, yeah, hopefully this was helpful. We just wanted to teach people about leading by example in health. It isn't just about you. It's about the impact that you have on others around you, so your kids, your workplace, your community. So how you do anything is how you do everything. That's another kind of takeaway. It's a phrase that I like. If you are inactive and don't eat healthy or don't live necessarily a healthy lifestyle, everything else in life is going to be usually a little bit worse than it could be. So if you start doing everything in life a little bit better, everything just gets better in general, right? Because it kind of cascades into other areas of your life. So a lot of people are like, well, I don't really want to work out. Well, in one of our podcast episodes a couple weeks ago, like just from exercise in the morning cascaded in all these other habits that improved their life in other ways. Like they paid more attention to what they ate. They actually spent less money, so they saved money. Like they didn't buy things as frequently.
Yeah.
So it definitely cascades in other areas of your life and the people around you, their life too, which is crazy.
Mhm.
So by living your healthiest life, you give permission to others to do the same. And research proves your influence is far greater than you think. So hopefully this was helpful. Start to take action on that one thing to not only better your life, but hopefully better the lives of those around you. So until next time, stay healthy and have a great day.